Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Let's see who's here. Connie Balmer. Hey, Connie, you're the first one here. Thank you so much. And let me take this out the way. All right. Rosanna Smith, good evening to you all. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to you too, Rosanna Smith. Thank you so much for being here. And who else is here? Eliza Shanae? No, Sane. Thank you. Mercedes Keys. Hey, haven't seen you on here for a while. ASB. Juliet Holder Fowler. Thank you for being here. Compton Cali Gal. Diana Ortiz. Oh, you know what? While I'm doing that, let me bring up my slides for today. And let me grab yesterday just in case we need it. Oh, okay. I don't need to do that. 7. Yeah, I don't want that one right now. There we go. All right. Hey, Mimi M. Noreen Bagali. Let's see. Naomi Maria. Balazine. Okay, I hope I got that right. Brenda Lee. Hi. Okay. Mo Shannon. Hey, Mo Shannon. Veronica Quick. Fancy. Mary H. Okay, so glad you're here. Thank you so much. Mackenzie. I was about to say Kaminsey. Mackenzie, thank you so much. Gwen Daniel. Robin Hyde. Hello. Gail Anita 1. Tiny. Hi. Okay. Clara Kadori. Let's see. Yeah, thumbs up, please. Robin Hyde. Dorothy Ross. Hello. Hugs to you too. 3 hugs is always better than 1. There we go. So, all right, there it is. A recycled thumbnail, but one of my favorites. Not my best work, but as you guys know, I'm too cheap to use one of those thumbnail makers. So I have kind of improvised over and over again, but I think this would be really cool. It's just the photos are not the best, but let me turn this off so I won't be interrupted by my phone. Hello, Lady E. Debira Bowens. Oh, Connie Balmer. Thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex and for being a member of Royal Sussex. Greatly appreciate it. Okay, so let's get on the way then, don't we? All right. Okay, so this is what's up. Yesterday was the State of the Union, a weird night, and I have to say, for the State of the Union, I found myself, I actually watched the whole thing, and I didn't watch it as it was actually going on. I think it was over an hour before I started catching up to it, or maybe even later than that, but very interesting. I feel very strongly that Biden was very energized. And again, it makes me so glad that he sent the Orange Menace packing. Hey, Lydia Washington. But yeah, Mo Shannon, I think I said hi. Hey, Mo Shannon. It made me glad he sent them packing. Well, okay, gas prices, I ain't gonna even get into that. But 50-year low in unemployment, manufacturing has rebound, and basically, yes, there is unemployment. I mean, sorry, not unemployment. There is what do you call it? The inflation is a factor. I mean, everything costs more. Food, especially, I'm always shocked at the price of food. But we survived. the pandemic, most of us, and I'm glad for that. I'm glad to be here to pay more than what I was paying a couple years ago, and and I thank God for that. Knock wood. Hey, Sharon Chung. But if we can do something about, because you know what, prices are not going to go back down, at least not that much, and a lot of the prices are artificially raised just because a company feel obliged to their stockholders to raise the price, but it's not carved in stone that they just have to do that. Some things, obviously it costs more to produce, but other things they are just keeping up with the Joneses, and we all have to pay the price for it. So now this is a part of the State of the Union that brought a tear to my eye. I mean, literally, I was in tears. I never had to have the talk with my children. Did you guys see that? Bo, Hunter, and Ashley, that so many Black and brown families have had with their children. President Joe Biden said at last night's State of the Union address. And, he mentioned when you see the police pulling you over, you got to turn on the interior light, put your hands on the steering wheel, do not reach for your driver's license, that sort of advice. And I got a little choked up with that because it is, that was a first. That was the first time that something like that has been brought up in the State of the Union address. I don't know that Obama's ever brought it up, although Obama has spoke about his experience as a Black man, even just hailing the taxi. But this was something that really made me emotional. It really got to me last night. So, yeah, surprising. You know what I just noticed though? I just noticed one of those inkwell things. Remember that tray of pens that Charles was grimacing about when he was trying to tell a guy to move this? I think that's what that silver thing is behind him. Although I don't think it's like actually used anymore, but that looks like one of those old inkwells. Probably a high end one, but I just noticed that. But Mackenzie, you said yes, I cried for that part too. And I think it did what it was supposed to, Baron, and that was make it real for non-Black families. I hope so. I mean, with some of the, I'm just going to say animals that were there across the aisle last night, I don't think anything like that makes an impact. Um, that was, that part right there was one of the most disgusting displays. And I wish it was something that they could do about it, but I don't suppose there is. But yeah, it was emotional. Mo says Biden is doing okay, could be a bit better, but well, stay prayerful. Yeah, everything could always be a bit better, but I'm telling you that I don't have to wake up to Trump. I don't have to hear what Trump said. I don't have to have Trump forced down my throat. Um, that's better to me. Anything is better than that. That I feel like the Trump administration aged me. It aged me. It made me anxious, depressed. I went through all types of emotions with the Orange Menace. Everything that should have never been was, and and people, and the fact that you look at it and you're just like, how come this doesn't bother more people? That's what I got from Trump. So yeah, every day I'm so grateful that that person is not in the White House anymore. When I think of how many people died during the pandemic unnecessarily, And the person who could have protected, who could have saved lives, made it political, which in a way, the people that we lost during the pandemic, they paid for his losing that election with their lives. And what I mean by that is the fact that by him making it political, he sowed the seeds of his own destruction. Because I'm sure that so many people that I mean, Biden got what 8 million more votes than Trump, and I understand people were not voting for Biden. You know, I may have had other ideas myself, but the point is, it was for all of the talk of him being not all together there and he's in his basement. Sometimes God will send you a tool when you need it the most. I don't ever want to go back to that time. I in my lifetime, I never envisioned something as horrible as that man. Never. When you have kids from a Spanish speaking Latino school that leave a basketball game in tears because the white kids felt so emboldened to yell, build that wall, build that wall, build that wall, and sent those other kids home in tears. You know, those kids did not feel protected in their own country. They didn't feel protected because, thanks to the president of the United States, their very citizenship, their very existence was delegitimized. Barack Obama's citizenship was delegitimized by Trump. I hope people never forget that. I hope people never forget that. And I'm afraid that a lot of people have forgotten it or don't think about it anymore. But if somebody could come along, nobody has the right to tell me as an African American that this is not my country or that I don't have a legitimate right to be here. Nobody can do that to me. But there's someone who tried. Trump even got even got Obama to show his papers. He got the most powerful man in the world to show his papers because he was black. Because he, as a black man, after years of sustained attacks, he finally had to show his papers and try to prove that he was actually a citizen of the United States. And he was already in the White House. It wouldn't have made a difference. Something that evil, that powerful and evil, um, yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Shelly L says, "Hello, Squatties. Hi, Baron. I love it when he tricked the Republicans into taking Social Security and Medicare off of the table. You know what? That is my favorite part of last night. So this was my emotional part of last night, but the old out of touch ain't all together there. Oh, by the way, this was a very sweet moment. I don't know who she is, but this was when he was leaving. Um, and it took him over 20 minutes to get out of the door with all of the people who wanted to speak to him and lobby and congratulate him. And she said, "Mr. President, something," and he said, "Oh yeah, um, you know that thing we worked on, so and so, so and so," and he kissed her hand. The president of the United States kissed her hand. Someone who I assume is an ancestor of slaves has the president, a white man, kissing her hand in the Congress. He's already president. He's not going to win any points for doing this, but that's who he is. whatever has happened in the past, this is who he is today. So I'm going to take that in contrast to what has been, and I'm going to enjoy this moment. I'm not going to let anybody take that away from me with all of the, oh, but wait a minute, and be careful what. I don't care. It's not Trump. That's all I care about. Is not Trump. This was a bizarre moment last night. Now I have to say, I have seen a lot. I have seen a lot in my 50 something years in this world, but I never thought that the spouse of the president and the spouse of the vice president would lock lips in the well of Congress. I didn't see that one coming. Oh, by the way, Shelly, thank you so much for your super chat. But nobody could have told me that this was going to happen last night. Um, but it did. And okay, maybe she zigged when he zagged, and maybe they thought the other was going to go the other way, or maybe it's just an optical illusion. But between this kiss and that kiss, that, and of course, and this talk, that is just a few of the things that sold me with last night. Uh, Gail Anita one says, for a man Biden's age, he is doing excellently rather, and he has human limitations, but don't we all? He is doing well, and I applaud him. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, yeah, I see what everybody else see. I see when he walks, and Gail, I'm pretty sure that his eyesight is not that good, and I think sometimes when he's out in the sun, that he can't see so well, which is probably why he wears the dark sunglasses all the time, is because his vision is not great. And I think that the bright lights affect him. And so sometimes when he emerges from the Marine One helicopter or from the Air Force One and he's out in that sunlight, sometimes he says, "Which way are we going?" Because he can't see. He just can't see that well. But does that bother me? No, because he's not Trump. He's not Trump. I don't have to feel the way I felt for about 6 years of Trump, 2 years of campaigning, degrading the first black president, the only black president we have ever had, and then 4 years in office, and still he could not leave him alone. So I don't care that Biden can't see. I really don't care. Let me see here. Oh, and then there, of course, you know, I think one of the reasons why they don't care for McCarthy is, if you notice, McCarthy, look at him smiling. And I noticed that there was a very cordial exchange, several of them, with McCarthy and Kamala Harris. Um, I'm just going to say this: McCarthy's not the worst of the worst. And the Republicans do not trust him, which is why it took so many votes to get McCarthy the gavel, because they don't trust him. And guys, Uncle Joe goes back a long way in the Senate, back to the 1970s. He knows everybody, okay? And I'm pretty sure when the politics are over with, there is a very cordial relationship between the two of them. So, in spite of the contentious nature of the two parties, what's happening behind the scenes is something I'm pretty sure a lot different. But everybody has to posture for their constituents. So when it comes to that, you expect a certain thing. So standing up for Social Security as Shelley L. just said. Now, anybody who thinks that that was just talk, as I said, I've been around for a while. I've been watching politics all my life. The Republicans under George Walker Bush, not George Herbert Walker Bush, not the father, but under George Walker Bush, there was talks of privatizing Social Security, privatizing Medicare and Medicaid. And then after the economy tanked, then they stopped talking about it. Now, the economy, there was a budget surplus under Bill Clinton. The economy always does a lot better under the Democrats. It just does. Democrats have always been good for the economy. And even though they like to trash Jimmy Carter is the president that established the Strategic Oil Reserve. After the OPEC crisis of the 70s, they filled the old salt mines and a few other places with a surplus of oil, so that when there's a fluctuation in the market, they could release that oil into the marketplace to help stave off the increases in oil prices. That is what makes it strategic. It's not just in case there's an apocalypse and we need the fuel for the country at a time of, let's say, war or something like that, but it's also to stave off the fluctuations of fuel prices in the economy. So the Strategic Oil Reserve, that was Jimmy Carter's doing. Of course, he was long gone by the time we ever had a benefit from it. But of course, the Republicans took credit for it. I told you guys, I've been around for a while. All right, so there is this Mike Lee. Is that Mike Lee? Yeah, Mike Lee. So Mike Lee was making that face that you see on the left, squirming in his seat and looking around like, how dare you? And all of that posturing he was doing, because he was so upset that anybody would have the audacity to accuse him of wanting to rid us of Social Security. It says there on the left, Republican Senator Mike Lee finds outrage, finds outrage during the State of the Union when President Biden suggested that some Republican wants to cut Social Security and Medicare. Now, I saw the video. On the right side, that is a video of him in a restaurant full of seniors that voted for him because he's the Republican candidate. They voted for him, even though he just said to them on video, he said to them that that's what I ran for, so that I could rid this country of Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid. Are you insane? And so as Biden is speaking last night, he's sitting there in his seat, spinning and twitching and looking around and outraged. And he's the one said it. He said the quiet part out loud. And Biden said, look it up. If you don't believe me, look it up. And this is what he was talking about. And he's not the only one. There were others. There have been others. They have been talking about that for years. And if that sounds remotely familiar, it should. It sounds just like, why don't we get rid of the NHS? Got it? You understand where I'm coming from? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? They want to rid us of Social Security. The very little that you could expect from a lifetime of work. And let's face it, as African Americans, because of the mortality rate allegedly, I hate to feed into that stuff, but because they say the mortality rate is higher for older adults as far as African Americans are concerned, because they say the mortality rate is greater, that a lot of people will not live to see or benefit as much from Social Security as, let's say, someone of a higher socioeconomic level, and of course, someone who may happen to be white. And that's just the fact. So, with the raise in the retirement age and the fact that a lot of African Americans just ain't gonna, benefit from it as much as their white counterparts, and now they're talking about getting rid of it. So Biden didn't make that up. But I tell you what he did do. He got all of them, the old senile old man, the old man that's lost and can't figure out where he is, the man who served more time in the Senate than just about anybody. He managed to compel them to stand up on their feet and pledge in front of the entire country before God and all of the people in the country that they will take that off the table. I cannot stress how big that is. He got them to pledge to leave it alone. That is huge. That is huge. That is something that nobody else has been able to do. And he literally shamed them into it. And again, as I was saying about this guy, did you guys notice how many times McCarthy was sitting behind Biden? He wanted to applaud, he wanted to stand up, but for the sake of his party and posturing, he could not. But he was nodding his head. I saw him. He was nodding his head a lot because he agreed with most things that Biden said, even when there was a lunatic from his party out there in the crowd yelling and booing Biden. He was literally shaking his head. I saw him. He could not contain himself. So, like I said, he's not the worst of the worst. Light Side of the Moon, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Happy Wednesday to you. Thank you very much for being here. So I'm going to go through a few of your comments before I move on. Okay, let me see here. Listen to the Wisconsin tape that was recorded saying Trump lost, and I was going to lie and say that the election was, yeah, exactly. And didn't I just say that with that so-called red tsunami, that they knew that so many Democrats had voted by early ballot, that even though it looked like he was going to win, but then it started trending in the other direction. Something that people said was going to happen long before Election Day. They knew the districts. They knew how many votes were coming in from a given district. And knowing what the statistics as well as the polls were for a given district or county, they knew that once they started, and see, some states have laws that won't let you count those ballots until Election Day. So you don't even know, and that makes sense because you don't want to give the advantage to the other candidate. So you know that those are likely going to be votes for the Democrat. And Trump knew that. And so when you find out that you're not likely to win based on merit, or should I say, based on your popularity, or even based on the Electoral College, then the next best thing to do is lie. And that's what he did. His last great lie before that the election was counted was the idea that I was winning, and then suddenly something changed. And this is why Fox News got in trouble, because they claim that the equipment used on election day was equipment that somehow changed things into Biden's favor. But the truth is, the company that they were accusing of having caused this reversal of fortune for Trump um, was actually not even in use in those states. And most of the cases where Trump lost, places where he thought he was going to win or hoped to win, the election officials were Republicans. They were Republicans who found themselves threatened because they would not change the votes in his favor. So, a lot to unpack there, but I'm telling you guys, it's like watching sausage being made. Once you watch politics, and you lose appetite for it. Let me see here. Celia says Joe Biden is an authentic good person. He understands what being the underdog is. He's a genuine good person. I agree with that. I agree with that. I am going to leave the past in the past and live in today. And today, we don't have Donald Trump in the White House. Today, we don't have somebody lying in real time only to follow up with the next lie and then say he didn't say it. Oh, man. And when I look at Boris Johnson, I'm just like, two of a kind, two of a kind. Okay, that's not for me. Let me see. Rhonda McKnight says, "Me too, Baron. The former White House occupant aged me too. A whole lot of people felt that way. I am retiring at 66 years old because it aged me. I voted for Biden, and he has the most experience of all of the Dems. Yeah, I mean, he jokes about having been there for the last 200 years, but he does have the experience, and he knows everybody. He knows everybody. Um, and the nickname, what was his nickname they gave him? Middle Class Joe. That wasn't a compliment, Middle Class Joe, but he took it as a compliment. But yeah, I was extremely proud of him last night. Let's see. Lily Lamore says they want to rid us of our own money. Social Security is not given by the government, but by the American people. Amen. And they are trying to pull the okey doke on us. And here, Biden, the so-called senile president, managed to get all of those Republicans to stand up on record and pledge. Did you guys, if you haven't seen it, please go and find it. The way he eased into it, the way he just kind of snuck it up on them, I'm telling you, it was an epic move. It was an epic move. I mean, he totally, I hate to use the term, but he totally outfoxed the Republicans. He totally outwitted, outfoxed, outmaneuvered all of them. And they have no choice but to follow through. They don't have a legitimate way to back out of this. They just don't. The commitment has been made at a full session of Congress, and that's a done deal. I mean, there's nothing in writing, but it'd be hard to explain that away at this point. So, bravo to the president. Oh, hold on a second, you guys. Okay, sorry about that. Yep, bravo. Um, that's why I say they don't like to hire old people. Um, at one of my former jobs, when I would see the management picking on the younger people, I would do something to embarrass them in the group meetings, and then of course I would turn to the young people and say, "That's why they don't hire old folks, because you can't talk to me any kind of way. Okay, so giving, let's see here. The optics alone of the Republicans standing applauding Biden in an ovation next to the Democrats was epic. A good historic score for Uncle Joe. Yes, like he told the guy down in Florida, nobody f's with. Did he say? Yeah, he said nobody f's with Biden. So, giving the response for the Republicans was the governor of Arkansas, a very well fed governor of Arkansas. Her name is Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Sarah Huckabee Sanders. And Sarah was the White House spokesperson for the what do you call it? For the Trump administrations. Well, she was. I think she came in there after the other guy. After the you remember the one with the brown suit? He wore a brown suit, and Trump fired him for wearing a brown suit. Anyway, this very large person. For some reason, she puts me in mind of. Do you guys remember the Beverly Hillbillies? They had a character named Jethreen Bodine. If that ain't the love child of Jethreen Bodine, and I got to figure out who the other parent is. But yeah, if that ain't the godchild, or I'm sorry, the love child of Jethreen Bodine, I don't know who is. That is one menacing looking individual. I would not want to run into the likes of her in a dark alley. I just wouldn't. Um, that's a lot of Republican right there. Huge. Do you hear me? Huge. That's a lot of Republican right there. I mean, massive, massive. Jethreen Bodine, I mean, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, her father was governor of Arkansas in the past. And so after she left the White House, the very obvious thing for her to do was to run for governor of Arkansas. So, um, yeah. But I'm telling you, she looks like Jethreen. Do you remember? You guys remember her with that high pitched voice, Jethreen? Of course, Jethreen was played by Max Baer, who also played Jethro Bodine. But now I did not do this. I did not do this. This was someone else on the Twitter, but I thought it was fun. Hey, cookies and cream. So I'm sharing it with you right now. But Lord have mercy. Woo, that's a big 'em. That's a big 'em. Huge, massive, large, large. And that very racy looking mini pearl dress she got on. I mean, but I wonder what size shoe she wears. Seriously. I am curious to know what size her shoe is. But she's a big girl. I wonder what her husband looks like. Let me take a look. I've never seen him before. Uh, let's see what her husband looks like. Let's see, husband. Ryan Sanders. What? That's her husband? That's her husband? Really? I mean, he's not all that, but and he's taller than her. I can't believe that. I mean, he's nice looking. He's got a little clef. He's got a big Colgate smile. He's very attractive. Wow, that's her husband, huh? You guys got to Google it. Please do. Um, you won't believe that's her husband. Are you serious? I mean, he's a little prettier than her, a lot prettier than her. Wow. Okay. Not bad, Sarah. You big giant, you. Not bad. Well, that's really. Whoa. I should have thought about this sooner. I would have put his picture up. Please let me know if you all see his picture. But he's not bad looking. I'm shocked. And dare I say, he's almost pretty. I mean, not to say that she's not. I'm just, saying that that's her husband. Jeez, what'd she do? I mean, she. You know what? I bet you she can cook. Well, I mean, look at her. You know she can cook. I know. Mimi, did you see? Did you see? I'm telling you guys got permission. Just go and see her husband. And well, I mean, I mean, he's pretty. I'm just like, really? That's the husband? Oh well, I mean, let me see here. Yes, her husband looks normal, but yes, light side of the moon. We are not here making light of anyone's appearance. That would be misogynistic, not to mention rude. She is a very striking woman in her own right, but I'm just saying, that's her husband, huh? All right. All right. Well, you know, why do I get this feeling that the proposal was won over arm wrestling? I'm just saying. I feel as though there was arm wrestling involved, and somehow she got the better of him with her little dainty self. And oh man, oh no, oh no. You know what, guys? But with all seriousness, um, somebody please call uh, Wendy from Wendy's burger chain and tell her that I think I found her stolen dress. Somebody stole Wendy's dress and they had to let it out a little bit. Maybe it's supposed to be longer, but in order to make it wider, they had to make it shorter. You know what I mean? But somebody stole Wendy's dress. That does look like Wendy's. Let me see. You guys, okay, I am being rude. Um, let me see. Does that look like Wendy's dress? Um, all day. Woo! Woo! Okay, okay. You know what, guys? Let's move on before we get in trouble. I know. I know. He's pretty, right? I mean, she's okay, let's move on. Uh so uh listen, she's a very striking woman and I think she's a delight. I don't think those pearls are going to cause her to pass out. Of course I can't believe she's wearing a pearl choker, but um yeah. So you guys, now this is beneath us as the Sussex squad. So before we go a step further, I am going to recuse myself from any further comment about Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Um, yeah. Let me see. Oh, who's got the new Samsung? Wow, I heard that Samsung is really nice. I know someone just got one today. It has like, what is it, 100 times the zoom? Yeah. Are you saying that there should be an emergency call because are you calling for the fashion police? Is that what you're saying?
Police! 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 Help! Police! Help! Police! Help! Help! Police! Help!
Okay. All right, you guys, we've had our fun. I'm sure she's a very sweet individual. And yes, she's very striking and, dare I say, attractive. Dare I say attractive? And we're going to move on. So, King Charles laughed it off as awkward request to bring back Prince Harry on a busy day today. So, these girls were there to greet Charles III, but they had a request from His Majesty, and that, of course, is please bring back Prince Harry. And Charles, of course, said, whatever bring back means. Yeah, so Charles, instead of like answering the question directly, he just said, whatever brings back means. And then that was the end of that. So I thought it was fun. I didn't see the actual video, but reading the account of it, he just politely laughed it off. All right, so that happened, and then of course we got another one. We got another one. This is the latest. Um, what is it? OBE, MBE? Yeah, MBE. I never heard of her before. Skunk Anisi. I've never heard of her. I think she's a performer, a song stylist, if you will. But I've never seen or heard from her before today. But that is the latest person of color that they can find to introduce the order of the British Empire. And as you can see, she decided to dress like one of the royals. You wear shoes that seem not very sensible. You wear a cape, and of course, well, as you can see here, check it out. I mean, if you think her shoes are weird, look at Charles. Now, what is it within a day of life of being king or any other member of the royal family? What reason would you have to wear spurs? Are those spurs on your shoes? What act of of intimacy or otherwise requires you to wear spurs? Oh, never mind. Never mind. I think I just sorted that out. Never mind. Um, okay, I get it. So Camilla, I'm arriving. Yeah, okay, I get it. That might require spurs and chaps and everything else. Okay, you guys, I'm being really tacky today. I'm being tacky because I'm trying to avoid a topic. Actually, there's a couple of topics that I have avoided, and I am going to continue to avoid those topics because they trigger me, and I don't feel like being triggered like that. So, also, they have capes in common, right? So they have the shoes, the capes, and well, eccentricity. They have all of those things in common. So they're not so dissimilar, are they? There's quite a few things about them that are very similar, the shoes, the capes, and of course the rather gaudy, eccentric outfits. I honestly, I think they'd make a cute couple. So there you go. Hey, Anastasia. Let me see. Uh, was dying, and they laughed that I still had the phone. When where the back came off. You had a phone that you could still take the back off of it? How old was that phone? And you went from a phone where you could take the battery out and you have moved into a S23? That's like going from a stagecoach to a Ferrari. I mean, that is huge. Congratulations. Good for you. I'm so happy for you. That's huge. Good for you. Shelly says, I left the room and came back. Who wore it better? Who wore it better? I don't know. Oh, sorry. This is, what is her name? Skunk? And Nancy, and niece, Anna, and her. That's her. That's her. That's what she calls herself, Skunk. Never heard it before, but you're right. It does kind of look like that. Who wore it best? Okay. All right. So I'm going to move on, you guys. Thank you. And let's go. Oh, let me see here. Oh, wait. Okay. How come? Oh, there it is. The Order of the Bat. The monarchy is a cult. It really is, though. Uncle Fester decided. Yeah, the love child. Okay. Okay, I got it. The love child of Jethrine and Uncle Fester. There you go. The love child of Jethrine and Uncle Fester. Okay. I'm going to have to put those together later. The love child of Jethrine and Uncle Fester. You guys, I am being super tacky today, but I'm having fun. All right. Kate's rebranding masterclass that may finally see off Megan. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Oh, let me get my reading glasses. Readers. Oh, oh boy, that scared me. Okay, hold on. Let me do this. Get my readers. I think I saw someone's birthday. Happy birthday to you. I missed the name because I was busy being messy. Hey, V Thomas. All right. So, with new crack team behind her, the Princess of Wales is set to take her work to the next level and make the most of her platform. But this is the thing, though. If you are so serious about rebranding yourself, why does everything she do always involve Megan? That just goes to prove that Megan is still the moment. Megan is the standard bearer. Megan exemplifies all that is great and good within that institution and even outside of it. If everything that you do is so perfect and that you never put a foot wrong, then why is it that you have to compare yourself to Megan? Why is Megan the benchmark? She's the level in which you want to reach. Why? If she wears red, you wear red. I don't understand. If you are so committed to the cause, if you have had all this time around the family, you are the future queen, and still you cannot step out the door without trying to compare yourself or identify yourself with Meghan. I don't understand how they think they're helping her. I said this a long time ago. When they try to tear Meghan down to build her up, it's really a put down for her. It's a put down. If everything that you wear from henceforth is somehow to show Meghan that you can do it better, then that means that you weren't doing so well in the first place. That means the only way that you can make yourself a whole and complete person is to try to copy off of someone that is supposed to be of a lower caste than you are. I don't get it. I don't get it. I used to make the videos all the time where I would say, oh, look, she's wearing this. Meghan wore that. She's wearing this. Meghan wore that. And then I stopped doing that because the squad pointed out, and properly so, pointed out that it actually helps her a great deal for us to point out the fact that she is cosplaying um, Meghan. And so it doesn't help her, it's a put down for her. It is declaring that she is woefully inadequate and really cannot stand on her own merits. The only way that she can stand tall is to try and walk over Meghan, or to push Meghan to the side and declare, I wore it first. This is my style. No, they ain't doing that. They are actually deliberately saying, I mean, at any point, the people at the various houses of Windsor, in this case, I'm going to just say Kensington Palace or wherever their offices are today, they could easily say to the newspapers, please don't say that. You got to stop saying that. If they could say to the Tatler, please don't say she's tired and overwhelmed, then they could easily say to these tabloids, hey, why don't you stop um, selling this idea that she's copying Meghan or that she's trying to outdo Meghan? But they don't do that. They want to play off of that because it's the only way to get people to pay attention to her. Um, as I said, the stress of this rebranding is getting the better of her. When they don't have the opportunity to manipulate her image, this is the insecure and, of course, the very troubled person that is trying to be something that she's not. This is the person who went to Denmark on her first solo trip abroad in the 11, 12 years that she's been married into that family. And to this date, the people of Denmark don't know why she was there. The people of Britain don't know why she was there. And worst of all, she doesn't know why she was there. Everybody was puzzled as to what is she doing here. Now we know it had something to do with kids, but that's not really a way to define the mission, because the only people that she can relate to are children. Even though they don't like to make eye contact, I couldn't imagine why. But the only people she can relate to is children. They love to put her at a table with children so that she would have someone to interact with, someone on her level, so to speak. And it also makes for good photo ops. So still, we don't know why she was there, but she found herself in Denmark on a solo trip as a princess of the realm. I'm just amazed that that was the first time that she had ever left the country by herself on a solo trip. It took her 11 years to do that. And so, all things considered, we are to believe that she has been rebranded and that she is keening to show people what she can do. So they're spending the money. I mean, they're spending money like crap through a goose's behind to try to show us that she is capable and that she's coming into her own. But as I said yesterday, the wear and tear of this rebranding is getting the better of her. She may need to go away for 30, 60 to 90 days to regroup. I'm not sure. But the person that she's trying to compare herself or try to, I don't know, somehow exceed with her excellence is someone who comes around when she feels like it, looks amazing, is peaceful under a tree in Montecito, where, of course, as we all know, in Montecito, there are no leaks. Okay? So let's go on. Do you guys remember Brewster Place? Who remembers Brewster Place? Because when I saw this magazine cover, the first thing I thought of was the nosy neighbor. You forgot to use your filter. Do y'all remember the nosy neighbor? You forgot to close your blinds last night. I seed you. I seed you. Well, in this case, they forgot to use their filter. You forgot to use your filter. I saw you. No, she said, I seed you. I seed you. Well, somebody forgot to use their filter. And on the cover of People magazine, see, every so often one slips through. One slips through where they forget to tune it. But I guess it was, well, I don't know. They took care of William. How come they didn't take care of her? See what I mean? Every so often one slips through. Oh, you remember that, Marshall, huh? You forgot to close your curtains last night. I seed you. I seed you in there like a spider. Oh, yeah, that was good, wasn't it? That was good. Cicely Tyson, I love when she had that confrontation with her daughter. It's not black, it's not white, and it's not purples. She had that little list. It's not whites, it's not blacks, and it's not purples. Y'all know I ain't got no sense. Uh, oh man. Yeah, they have to protect him. But yeah, they I'm surprised though. How did they let this one slip past? Right? Right. I swear I have not touched that photo. I have not touched that photo. Why would People magazine use that as a cover? I wonder, I wonder if there is someone within the royal household who is about tired of Kate, somebody who has a lot of friends in high places, someone who sacrificed her stepson at her altar to elevate her popularity. Is there someone in that family who would have a vested interest in starting some type of campaign against the future queen consort to make her look bad? I mean, who would do such a thing? I don't know. Nobody comes to mind. Oh well. But yeah, that one slipped through. I'm amazed. You forgot to use your filter. Oh man. So it was back in 2016 before the Meghan married into the family. The Duchess of Drab is a mystery of the cosmos. How does a beautiful woman make designer outfits look so frumpy? How? Well, now that's a question for the ages, isn't it? Speaking of ages, you forgot to use your filter. Um, it is true. It is true. Kate has been challenged as far as fashion is concerned. I wouldn't mind that she is going through all this trouble to dress like Meghan and to try to give out some type of Meghan presence to the world. I don't mind that. But tell the magazines to leave Meghan out of it. Just stand on your own merit. If nobody bothered you, well, I can't say that. I mean, look at this article. But if nobody bothered you when you were dressing so dowdy and dumpy, you didn't hear us mess it. Well, let me take that back. I think I probably did say a couple of, never mind. I think I probably did make the occasional comment. So I can't say that it wouldn't have made a difference because I'm probably just as guilty as anybody. So, okay. Okay. I will concede that I wasn't always the nicest person about how dumpy and how dreadful she looked. But I certainly wasn't the worst. Was I? Okay, maybe I was. But maybe I was. Maybe I have been a bit heavy handed, as it were. But let's go back down memory lane with this one, shall we?
Meghan in a Valentino white. Compare, I hate to do this, but compare Meghan in a Valentino white, absolutely wowing the crowds, and dear Kate in that very staid 1940s Amelia Wickstead coat.
Oh, you're really winding me up now. Yeah.
Well, I knew that would upset you, Richard, because I know you're more of a Middleton kind of girl and you like the sort of twin set and pearls 50s look. But all I'm saying is, who's speaking to the future generations, the younger generations? It's Meghan.
One more time. One more time.
Meghan in a Valentino white. Compare, I hate to do this, but compare Meghan in a Valentino white, absolutely wowing the crowds, and dear Kate in that very staid 1940s Amelia Wickstead coat.
Oh, you're really winding me up now. Yeah.
Well, I knew that would upset you, Richard, because I know you're more of a Middleton kind of girl and you like the sort of twin set and pearls 50s look.
So that's my point. All right, so I haven't been the only one. There have been other people who have made comments about her appearance, right? Meghan did everything she could while she was within that royal household to dress down, to wear inconspicuous colors so she didn't clash with anybody. So she gave the whole like attention to Kate and the rest of them. And in spite of that, Kate was still looking rather drab and boring. And this is someone who has a degree in art, right? And this is someone who worked in a clothing store for about 10 minutes on the high street. Someone who grew up in a very wealthy family. So it's not like she didn't have the resources. But it's like they say, taste is either something that you buy, you can buy fashion, but you can't buy taste, right? You can buy fashion, but you cannot buy taste. And so there are some people who could rock those outfits that she was wearing, even the worst of them. And then there's Kate, right? So then, of course, before she was cosplaying the Duchess of Sussex, how about when Kate was like going after that Jessica Tandy look? She was rocking the Jessica Tandy look. Now, this had nothing to do with Meghan. Back in those days, she was literally going after old people. So again, just leave Meghan out of it. Wear whatever you want to wear. If you want to give a nod to the Mennonites or the Amish or the Quakers or whoever they are, if that is who you find your inspiration from, then just go do you, boo, but just leave Meghan out of it. Meghan is in California. She's not trying to compete with you. She's been wearing the off-the-shoulder outfits for a long time. She even knows a designer of the outfit that she's wearing there. She's worn a variation of that before, but they just cannot leave Megan out of it. The only way that they can lift her up is to try to put Megan down. And of course, the week that Kate wore that garish green outfit, the one that looks like some country, they look like kitchen curtains in Kate's country cottage kitchen. Anyway, that dress that reminds me of the upholstery of an old Volkswagen Beetle or some type of psychotropics. When Harry spoke about mushrooms in Spare, I wonder what his reaction would have been if he would have saw Kate walking toward him with that dress on. Now, if the toilet and the garbage can looked like it was talking, what would that dress do to someone on mushrooms? I'd like to see that actually. Uh, but when she wore that outfit, a week later, Megan wore this and the red dress and also the green cape. Megan decided, since I'm on my way out, we might as well have some colors. But before that, Megan was avoiding colors and trying to look as inconspicuous as possible, trying to blend in, even for the christening. When Harry and Megan went to the christening for Louis, Megan wore like olive green, anything to blend in and to be, to down play her presence. And still, that wasn't enough. Let me see. Baron Kate may dress like Megan and still misses the mark, but what Kate wears don't sell. That's true. It does not sell. Everything Megan wears sells out in hours. Megan helps every designer she wears, thus creating jobs. Great reminder, Marshall. Thank you for pointing that out. And that is true. It's a dream. How many times has someone said that their phone was ringing off the hook? They kept getting all these text messages. Did you see it? Did you see it? See what? Megan wore your dress. Megan wore your earrings. Megan's wearing your makeup. That is a story that has been repeated again and again. And of course, Kate's top looks for 2022. Now, I had to pull this out because as I was looking at the thing about rebranding, I was like, wait a minute. But her top looks for 2022, I mean, just take a look there. One, two, three. Okay. All of those. Um, oh, Lord. Listen, all of that stuff that she has on, if you wanted to promote the fact that Kate had top looks for 2022, why would you choose those outfits? Okay, I could see the black and white one, but the rest of them, I don't get what made that impressive. She's wearing the 1940s coat, that electric blue one. I don't even know what to say about that. And then, of course, the pink. Lord have mercy. Mm-mm-mm. And this is supposed to be the English rose, the standard bearer of beauty for all of Britain. Okay, I can say this much for her. She's skinny. She's skinny where it counts. A lot of people would do whatever they could to be that skinny. So let's be honest about that. There's a lot of people who would love to be that skinny. Okay, maybe not that skinny, but they would love to be smaller. But aside from that, is what she does with it, which is very little, that is what defines her. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle stole attention from Prince William and Kate Middleton. It happened before with Princess Diana. And so this article is from April of 2021. So of course that was that after the Oprah interview? So of course, with all of the coverage after the Oprah Winfrey interview, those were the outfits that they had, had their last outings in. Because if you recall, we were in the middle of the uh, worst of the pandemic at that time. So the outfits were worn a week apart, but they didn't report about it here until April of 2021. And so, I'm telling you, I'll never forget that. She wore the garish green, and Megan wore that, what is it, cerulean blue, a week apart. So Kate needed to up her game. But what they don't need to do is to constantly reference Megan. I don't really care what she does. It doesn't interest me that much at all, unless I feel like having some fun with it. But aside from that, do you? But just leave Megan out of it. This is from the TIG. Megan said, "I'm not interested in competing with anyone. I hope we all make it." She's a girl's girl. She's there to uplift other women, not to compete with them, but to uplift, encourage, and if necessary, to mentor. But she's not there to compete. It's the tabloids that really started this. The nastiness, that's purely Kate and William. But the tabloids, they're the ones who wanted to do pitting one against the other. They even did that with Margaret Thatcher and the Queen. It's so provincial, it's so primitive, but yet the tabloids are still doing that. But at this point, we all know that stopping this is just a phone call away. And that's a phone call that the royal family is not going to make. Thank you so much, Elaine Parker, for the super sticker. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Happy Wednesday to you. Yeah, that's a phone call that they're not going to make. Cheryl says, these people are billionaires. Why don't they hire stylists, orthodontists, makeup artists, hairstylists, plastic surgeons, etc.? I want to know what makes you think they haven't. Now, they have nannies up the yang yang, but look like crap. Well, some of them have taken, um, some license with things. Reba Henderson says, Baron, she would have to have style and taste, which Kate does not. She can't pretend, but she can never convince anyone she can outdress Megan. Never happening. Well, the derangers, they love to say how cheap Megan's clothes look. Her clothes don't fit, this and that, and such. They love to do that. But yet, the one that sells out everything that she wears is Megan. Kim Coates says, I remember Megan took Kate's black and white off the shoulder dress and showed her how to wear it. It was a jumpsuit she wore that night in New York, the off the shoulder black. Oh, okay, you said it, pantsuit with the cutout. Yeah, but Kim Coates, the thing is, Megan had worn a shorter version of that. It was black. I'm sorry, it was maroon or burgundy with a black stripe going around the shoulders. So Megan's actually friends with the designer, and but then too, one of the other royal princesses wore the same dress, or actually wore the dress version of that same outfit. So Kate never did wear that first. Either way, not a pantsuit, not a dress, anything. So she was copying off of Meghan, and she also copied off of another royal princess. So either way, she still stole it. And yeah, so It was a look, though, wasn't it? It was a look. It was very veiny. And I remember how they were trying to sell the fact of how toned her arms are, how toned she looked. Yeah, they were trying to sell that. Well, you know what? I don't even have, do I have the other photo where she looks all withered and it seemed like, oh, I don't have it here, where it seemed like, what's his name? Tom Cruise had to help the old lady up the steps. But yeah, she did look a bit withered, a bit gaunt. Overhead light is not everybody's friend. So, all right, you guys, some good news. Uh, Elizabeth Bessie Coleman has a quarter that came out last year, right? 2 years ago. Well, check it out. Uh, the Afro Latina, the very first Afro Latina to have a quarter, Celia Cruz quarter is coming. Arasuka, Guantanamera, Guaira, Guantanamera, Guantanamera, Guaira, Guantanamera. I love that song. Always makes me smile. But yeah, so Celia Cruz is officially getting a quarter from the U.S. Mint. So look forward to that one. It's just been announced, I think, yesterday. And check out this little cutie pie. Look at there. David, what is it? Balagon? Let me pull this down so I can see it. Let's take a look. 9-year-old, okay, I can put it back up. 9-year-old David Balagan is one step closer to achieving his dream of becoming an astrophysicist after obtaining his high school diploma. Yes, this child prodigy is on his way to college. He's about to start college. How about that? I believe he's part of that Mensa society, and his parents both have some big time degrees, although I forget what it is. But yeah, so as Celia Cruz would say, Azuka! There you go. And with that, you guys, was there anything else? Oh, yeah. Happy Black History Month. And remember, when you guys are going to war on social media, as a strong Black woman, I think we Blacks talk too much about racism. Tap, 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 tap. You never know who you're talking to. So if you find yourself having it out with someone on social media, just remember it may not be exactly who you think it is. I'm sure you guys can think of some derangers right off the top of your head that you know are not likely Black or a person of color or of any sort for that matter, but yet they are still carrying on as though they are an authority on everything to do with the Black experience. So there you go, you guys. Happy Black History Month. And thank you so much, the Mod Squad, for keeping this a safe space. I did mention in the community tab that there, what is the name of that channel? I posted in the community tab. Some of you guys have already noticed it. There is a channel called, what is it? Lady Sussex, Meghan Markle, a real life Cinderella. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Is that the name of it? Oh, yeah. Is at Lady Sussex. I think maybe they did a name change, but maybe not. But anyway, it is on the community tab. I am going to get the link for you right now and put it up so you guys can go over there and find that channel. Wow, looks like they got a bunch of new subscribers too. So as you know, once there's 1,000 subscribers, that gives access to the community tab, which is another great way for someone to promote their channel. So let's make that happen today if we can. There's the link right there. Also, you guys, thank you for my gifts. I went over and got my stuff from my shipment that I received from my Royal Sussex wish list. I haven't had a chance to read who sent them. I literally ran in the house and had to start prepping for today's Royal Sussex. But I got some Kit Kats, and also I got one of those plugs for with one of those high tech smart plugs. And so if you gifted those things, thank you very much. Also, I received this. It's like I can't even describe it, but it's a little novelty thing that I have been interested in. And so thank you guys for those blessings. Greatly appreciated. Everyone who participated in the wish list. Remember, it is not obligatory at all to gift anything on that list, but it is fun for me because it makes it feel like Christmas in February. I look at it like this: it might be the only Valentine's I get. So no pressure, but it may be the only Valentine's I get this year. Wah, wah. Oh, man. Oh, what's that, Lydia? Oh, Lorna Williams, thank you so much for being a member for 9 months. Thank you very much. Wouldn't be here without you. And okay. I'm so embarrassed, but I'll put it up there anyway. So Lydia has just shared a link to the official Royal Sussex wish list. Uh, oh boy, I can't say that without smiling and blushing. But yes, that's it right there. So thank you very much, Lydia, for reminding us that there's a wish list. I almost forget about it sometimes. But yeah, so that's it. Thank you guys. Remember to support all of these Sussex friendly platforms. It is so important. And I'm going to do some deciding this week to see if I'm going to go to Dusseldorf. I mean, I've always wanted to go there because I just love the name Dusseldorf. That's how I ended up in Budapest because I like the name. So if I've been to Budapest, I got to go to Dusseldorf. Well, we'll see. I'm going to decide this week if that's going to happen. Um, and then, of course, and what inspired me is because I'm pretty sure Sherry and Sade is going. And I was thinking, how cool would it be to hang out with Sherry on? So yeah, if Sherry is going now, I want to go. So we'll see. I'm gonna try to sort that out by the end of this week. Okay, that looks like a good last word for me. Have a good day, a good evening, everybody. Be safe, stay safe. Yeah, be safe, stay safe. Yes, I think I heard her say that. She said she's gonna learn German and everything. So I'm pretty sure I wasn't imagining that. And didn't Sharian say she was born in Germany? Did I hear her say that? Born in Germany, grew up in Texas, something like that. But yeah, wouldn't that be fun? So let's see what happens, you guys. I mean, one of the favorite things about Germany is they sell sausages everywhere. And I would love to get my hands on some of them Broxworth. To me, you know how they say in heaven the streets are paved with gold? To me, heaven would be sausages cooking on every corner. That's heaven. Sausages on every corner. That doesn't sound weird. Every time you turn the corner, there's another sausage just looking at you. So, yeah, that is what I call heaven. Sausages all over the place. I got to stop. I'm sounding like I just got out of prison. All right. So, thank you, everybody. And, Oktoberfest. Yeah. Oktoberfest. I'm telling you, them sausages. I would get the sausage, and I'd had them put some mustard, and they give you like a hard roll with it. Oh, so good! And you just crunch into those sausages. I literally belched my way out of Cologne. I belched and belched and belched. Oh, but I loved Cologne. It was so beautiful. Uh, okay. Yeah, and then there's that weirdness with Charles that, yeah, and then you feel like you're biting into his, yeah, I know. Okay, you guys, I am going to ginger vengeance out of here. I'm not going to hold you guys all evening. I told you I wasn't going to do those marathons anymore. Thank you so much to our queen in heaven and our queen in California for the best of the best in the royal family. And I even say outside of the royal family, the most influential couple in the world today. Let's see, Baron, you're right at my cousin's wedding reception. This woman was really pissing me off, kept moving things. I was calling her out to a nice guy who was helping me, and it was his mother. Ooh. Awkward. Awkward. Okay. Yeah, those marathons are fun. And for sure, we're going to do one for New Year's. Gosh, I don't even want to think about New Year's. That was long, wasn't it? That was long. What was it like? About 3.5 hours, right? It was fun though. We had fun that night. A lot of improvising and stuff, but it was fun. And I think we were talking about the oldies but goodies and stuff like that. So that's always a fun conversation. I think one of these days I'd like to have one of those, like a call in where we could talk about the old TV shows and the old music and stuff like that. That would be fun. Okay, you guys, I'm going to go. Thank you so much. I am going to cue the Ginger Avenger and get out of here. Oh, boy. That's the stuff of nightmares, isn't it? I mean, you're all of a sudden you're up close and personal. You see it on television, the next thing you know, it's right up on you. Oh man. But you know what, guys? Honestly though, sometimes I just have to say it. I have to say it.
Just don't get it. I don't get any of it.
What do you mean? You don't get what?
Yeah. I don't get why we're so obsessed with these humans that are exactly the same. Like, it could be us four sitting there. I just don't get it.
But are you talking about what you mean as royals or as, like, Kim Kardashian? Because for me, they're becoming celebrities.
Well, yeah, to me, that's all they are.
The Queen
is their celebrity.
For me, is brilliant.
I love the Queen.
No, for duty, responsibility.
She's always worked really hard, hasn't
I would
she?
work hard if the whole country paid for me to have like 12 houses and work really hard.
But they don't pay for all of the houses. But
just a few.
Yeah, I don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't get any of it. Oh, well. All right, you guys. It is, let me see. Oh, really? Let me see. And keep the clip of Reverend Al Sharpton's interview. Steve Schmidt, Mandela's granddaughter, New York Times, Refinery 29, etc., trending on all social media. Really? All of those are trending right now? Wow. Oh, you said saying to make sure we keep the clips, though. Well, I try to keep as many as I can. I do, because I never know when I'm going to reference that stuff. So it is good to keep it. Good to keep records. Good to make sure that we have receipts. All right, you guys, I want to cue the Ginger Avenger, and I will see you all tomorrow.